has been so many divorces this year. There's been so many breakups. It's looking like divorce. Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande involved with Colleen Ballinger scandal.
Fans are questioning their friendship as old videos have resurfaced, showing Colleen being allegedly inappropriate. A video of the pair on the red carpet shows Colleen trying to make Ariana sing into a tampon, leading fans to call out Ariana for being silent.
Not sing into a tampon. We're just gonna use this for the remainder of the video.
Because it's the juice, and if you don't have the juice, you don't have it. So if you don't have the juice, you can't capitalize.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That big fire. Yeah, she kinda.
The weather today is looking very gloomy. It's looking like divorce, if you know what I'm saying. Ariana Grande. Let's get updated on what the heck's going on over there, because I haven't been keeping up. I don't know what's really going on, but I did see a very short video that said Ariana Grande involved with Colleen Ballinger scandal. So we're going to start there because I don't know what that's about. It was posted 2 months ago and I'm more lost than you. If you have not read this, I don't know what it is. And then of course we'll hop into Ariana Grande divorces ex-husband and moves in with Ethan. This is gross. Honestly, there has been so many divorces this year. Has there not? There's been so many breakups. There's been obviously the couples that made it through their Venus retrograde, which if you did, congratulations, because woo, it's been a year. It's been a year for love, has it not? I mean, wow. Also hilarious. I did put a community tab poll about Jeannie and Jeezy, and I just had to incorporate the who, because I know my audience, I don't really talk about them, and I just knew that there were going to be some people who were just like, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that? So I thought it was funny that there were so many people who were just like, who are you talking about? But of course, if you do dabble over there in that corner of the juicy, very juicy tea, it's quite interesting. I think there was a lot of people who saw them as a couple to look up to. Even Kevin Samuel himself, before he died about 2 years ago, actually posted a video about Jeannie being a high value woman and how you should pick women like Jeannie over Lonnie Love, for example. So I found that to be interesting. I actually do want to watch that video. I'm not sure if I will, but I do want to watch it just because I find the whole high value, low value scenario to just be kind of interesting. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all going to make mistakes. No relationship is perfect. We're going to have to go through conflicts, arguments. I mean, this is not even just love relationships, but this happens at work. This happens with families. Damn, it even happens with teens, children. You know, there's always going to be a disruption in these friendships and relationships, and it's kind of up to you to either mend that, fix it, want to care about what's happening within it. And it's just it's an interesting conversation. Let me know your thoughts, honestly, on the whole high value woman debate. I feel like it actually hinders your ability to see the good in people because you are so focused on the green flags and what should be there and what isn't there. And we're just in such a interesting time where, you know, there were people getting married, you know, decades ago after a week. You know what I mean? Not to say that you should do that, but, you know, it's just that feeling of, you know, and if you want to grow with somebody, you're going to grow with them regardless of their flaws, yada, yada, yada. I could really go on and on. But of course, this is me speaking from a single Black woman perspective. So whatever I say, obviously, is going to be taken at face value due to that. So I think, you know, there's a lot of content out there that will speak of love, how to get love, how to obtain love, how to keep love, long distance relationships, yada, yada, yada. I mean, the list really goes on. So let's hop in here. Ariana Grande involved with Colleen Ballinger. I didn't even know they knew each other. I didn't even know they met, child. I was like, what are y'all even talking about right now? I'm sorry. Like I've said in previous videos, I just don't know anything about Colleen to really be knowing who she spoke with, who she hasn't. So this has been a very interesting year of dabbling into Miss Miranda Sings, if you will. So let's see.
Being dragged into disgraced YouTuber Colleen Ballinger.
Wait.
Ariana Grande is being dragged into disgraced YouTuber Colleen Ballinger's scandal of racist and sexually charged allegations after fans uncovered their secret friendship, which goes back more than a decade. Colleen has been faced with numerous allegations.
Why has it got to be a secret friendship? What is a secret? What? Huh?
Racism, bigotry, and even sexually inappropriate behavior, including impersonating Black content creator Glozell alongside Ariana's less famous brother, Frankie Grande. But it's Frankie's world-famous sister, Ariana Grande, who is now in the hot seat.
That's the so-called comedy that was acceptable back in the day. but it's not acceptable now, that JoJo Siwa spoke about. And you know, when she did say that, I thought of Dave Chappelle's iconic white power, aka the black man that is blind and thinks he is white and is a part of the KKK. One of my favorite skits out there. I mean, yes, obviously there are going to be people that are like, wow, how can you think that that's funny? How can you still like that? How can you still co-sign it? But for me, at the end of the day, it's still gonna be funny to me. I mean, it's just white power. I'm sorry, you know. So to each their own, you know.
Old footage of the two celebrating Ariana's birthday has been making rounds on social media, sparked fans initially demanding that Ariana speaks out and show support for the victims. One fan took to Twitter to share, "I hope Ariana will end her friendship with Colleen." The two have been friends since Ariana was a teenager and remained close, with Colleen even starring in Ariana's Thank You
A teenager, you say? Oh, she was in the Thank You Next video too? With freaking Kris Jenner? Well, that's interesting because that was not that long ago. You know what I mean? Whoa, I absolutely had zero, I'm talking zero idea about that one. Wow, look at Colleen as a cheerleader. Interesting.
Next video while pregnant, but fans are questioning their friendship as old videos have resurfaced, showing Colleen being allegedly inappropriate. A video of the pair on the red carpet shows Colleen trying to make Ariana sing into a tampon, leading fans to call out Ariana for being silent.
Not sing into a tampon. I thought she just did that one time. I didn't know she did that with Ariana Grande. You know what? We're just going to use this for the remainder of the video. Let's do it.
One user tweeted, "Why is Ariana still following Colleen on Insta? There's no way she doesn't know what's going on right now." Fans are even more shocked Ariana has remained silent after her brother Frankie and Colleen were accused of doing blackface in a
How can you possibly be shocked? How can you possibly be shocked? I look ridiculous. I can't do this anymore. How can you possibly be shocked? I don't see Ariana Grande ever coming out for anybody at all. Speaking about coming out for people, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. I know we haven't dabbled over there. Trust me, I know. And as somebody who loved that 70s show, there's a reason. There is a reason why I have not done content on it yet. I am devastated by the entire situation. I truly am. But that content is coming up soon. Whether I'm late or not, I don't care. I don't know what's going on over there because it hurts me. It hurts me a lot. I'm also a very strong avid lover and watcher of Family Guy. So it's just like double whammy, you know? It's just like, what is going on in these Hollywood streets? Not that it hasn't been going on for decades at this point, but damn.
an old YouTube video. The video has since been taken down from YouTube, but fans have been quick to find clips and images reminding audiences of the problematic videos. In the clips, Frankie can be seen referring to him and Colleen as Glozell's Black Up dancers.
And you know what this reminds me of? So the video I did on lip injections, they talk about how there were black people back in the day that also did blackface, and that's how they got their recognition. That's how they got, you know, accepted and also, you know, added into the creation of these white creators doing blackface. And this kind of depicts the same kind of energy, meaning, you know, black people being okay with white people joining certain corners, if you will. I think the term would be being invited to the barbecue, you know what I mean? So it's interesting because it kind of reminds me of the same thing. And as I say this out loud, this is not something that I'm like judging or critiquing in any way. I myself have been in situations where I have seen this happen on so many different levels, whether it's like the white person being allowed to say the N-word because they only hang out with black people, or, you know, it doesn't even have to be white person, it can even be Asian. Shoot, an Asian person, you know, saying whatever they probably couldn't say in front of a whole bunch of black people, but they can say in front of me or another black person that they're comfortable with. You know, like there's all these little like microaggression situations that I think a lot of black people go through and a lot of black people experience. However, it's just not really talked about on a grand scale, at least in my opinion. And I think that there's another side of it where, you know, black people will kind of critique the other black person and say, oh, you're whitewashed, you're an Oreo, you're a coconut, you accepted it, you allowed it, yada yada yada. It just keeps going on and on. And so I feel like there's so many different like pockets of it. It's actually really interesting. And I only say this because I myself had to really like learn the black culture. And I think a lot of people would be like, what are you talking about? But because I was so young and I came from the UK to America at such a young age, I didn't know a lot of the black terms, the black movies, the black history. Like I really didn't know. And I remember really being alienated because of it. And I remember people really letting me know like, yo, you're not actually black. Like, how do you not know this? Yada, yada, yada. But there is such a different aspect to being African American, and then of course just the term black. It's actually something I've noticed here in the UK as well, is there will be black people, but if you ask them where they're from, they won't necessarily say, oh, I'm just black. They'll say like, I'm Ghanaian, I'm from Morocco, I'm from Cyprus, but my dad is from Switzerland, like whatever. Like they have all these different cultures here that I also had to learn in a different way as an adult. You know what I mean? So it's like when you start to look at things in these ways and you see how ridiculously ingrained and indoctrinated the American culture is on the black side, it's kind of like crazy when you think about it. It's just like it's so unbelievably sad the way, I mean, even the KKK, it's just like everything. It's just a devastating situation, because it's like you just stripping people from their culture and who they are, and then reinventing and creating another culture. And so it's just it's a fascinating conversation, a conversation that I did have in a I believe it was an African American history class that was more focused on psychology. And I remember a biracial girl talking about how hard it is for her to be accepted in different pockets of social circles because she was both half black and half white. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many different sectors. But anyways, I could literally ramble on about that forever.
And fans are disgusted at the video, leaving comments such as, oh my god, it just gets worse. The incriminating videos went viral days after several employees at Netflix came forward with reports of Colleen's allegedly racist behavior. Several employees that worked on Colleen's
Really?
Netflix show, Haters Back Off, have come forward with their horrifying stories. One claims that Colleen was repeatedly caught saying the N-word on set, and another claims that Colleen demanded that all the, quote, Asian was removed from set before filming. Another
Yo, I really don't think Colleen likes Asians, because in my video that I just posted, I just saw that clip. I have never seen that clip before. So the clip of her talking about how there was this fat Asian woman and she was just praying that this fat Asian woman didn't sit next to her.
Extremely obese Asian woman with facial hair, and she walks on and I'm like, please don't sit next to me, please don't sit next to me. Her like fat rolls are like rolling over onto me, and she was all over my, like she was like, her body was engulfing my body, and it was really awful.
I had never seen that. And then of course there's like older videos of her, I believe, mocking Hispanics and Asians, kind of like the same way Shane Dawson did. But I feel like Colleen like really doesn't like Asian people. I don't really understand that. I actually don't understand the whole premise behind not liking Asian people, to be honest. I don't know if it's because I'm young, maybe I'm ignorant. I don't know, but I find it really weird. Sometimes I want to ask the question, like, why? Like, what did they do? What did they do? What makes you mad about Asian people? I'm sorry, I just don't get it. Maybe one of you guys can enlighten me in the comments. I'm honestly curious.
Other ex-employee claims that Colleen was, quote, obsessed with adding incestuous references to the show. And not only that, but one ex-fan has come forward sharing alleged screenshots that shows Colleen sending to Trisha.
Pause and go back, because y'all know I ain't ever seen a Trisha Paytas nude. Wowzers. Can't even imagine what that looks like without the emojis, and I'm glad.
Colleen sending him Trisha Paytas nudes from OnlyFans involuntarily. The fan claims that he was 22 years old when she would send him Trisha's nudes, but that she would send Adam McIntyre, the influencer who first started the allegations against Colleen Ballinger 3 years ago. Similar photos when he was a minor. These allegations add to the long list made just weeks ago when Colleen was accused.
And I came across Mitchell Reacts today when I was editing, and he was making videos of Colleen like, I think 3, maybe even like 4 years ago, about how she just doesn't say anything about it. People just accept it. No one, like, there's no backlash, there's no nothing. And I found that to be interesting, because 3 years ago would be when I was making content on Shane Dawson, and I never even came across Colleen at this time. Didn't even know who she was. I mean, not in depth, at least.
Grooming for underage fans. Colleen responded to the allegations with a confusing 10-minute ukulele song. This unconventional method has left some wondering whether a traditional written apology using a notes app would have been more suitable. Or does Colleen have her sights on reaching the #1 spot in the music charts?
What? The #1 spot in the music chart?
This isn't shocking information. In fact, we've all been waiting to see.
The #1 chart? I mean, the video is at 15 million views as of today, which is actually crazy. I think her last apology video was like 4 million views, but I'm sorry. Not the number one charts in music. Anyways, Ariana Grande. See how her new dingaling is doing?
When Ariana Grande or Dalton would file for divorce, and it finally happened. Image, reputation, done. Child, this just adds more to the timeline of events of this love triangle with SpongeBob. It's just, whew.
Okay, people keep bringing up SpongeBob, and y'all, as much as, you know, people be like, oh, you have a YouTube channel, you should know about these things. I don't know nothing, okay? I'm gonna look it up right now. Who, was he a SpongeBob voice or something? Whose voice was, like, did he do a voice? Or, wait, okay, let me read this. American actor, singer, writer, composer, best known as his role as SpongeBob SquarePants in the musical. Shut up. So he's SpongeBob SquarePants? Oh, no, no, no. He did the musical and he was SpongeBob SquarePants. He's not actually SpongeBob SquarePants, the voice. Okay, interesting. So he was in a musical. You know, I'm going to give him his flowers there because I know Broadway and musicals and theater is no joke. It's absolutely no joke. And I remember MTV producer asking me if I would want to live in LA or New York if I wanted to pursue acting. And I said LA and she said, no, you need to do New York. You would be phenomenal on stage. And I was just like, I would absolutely never do that. I remember I was in a short theater production that was not big on any means. However, I remember just going over the lines at home, and I remember just being like, I can't do this. Like, this is not me. This is not, like, I just know how much work and how hard it is, and like how much projection you need in your voice. Like, there's so many different aspects to theater compared to television. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go ahead, Ethan, do your thing, because I didn't know, so I know now.
Ariana Grande has finally filed for divorce from her ex-husband, Dalton Gomez. This comes after she's been living with her new married boyfriend, Ethan Slater, for
And
months.
Dalton is
Since
cute.
the scandal broke, they've been trying to stay low-key. But now that Ethan and Ariana have filed for divorce, everything's going to change. So let's get into it.
Please. Okay, you better stop playing.
Ariana Grande has been super low-key ever since her cheating scandal involving her husband and Ethan Slater and his wife, but things have progressed and we need to talk about what's going on here.
Pause, we gotta go back just a little bit. That's his wife. She's so cute. Like, she looks so innocent. She looks like she'd be a great mom. Oh, wow. I guess I didn't really see her as well as I thought I did. And she looks so happy here. Oh, you know those people that just look innocent? You know what I mean? Like, you know those people that just look innocent, okay? And if you've been in the church, you definitely know what these people look like. But yeah, that's what she looks like. She's giving me like very much like innocent vibes. Like, as long as he's happy, I'm happy. And then cries and drinks Chardonnay alone with a cheese plate.
And we need to talk about what's going on here. So Ariana and Dalton have finally filed for divorce. And you guys know we've talked about Dalton before on this channel, and I don't think they were a match from the start. Ariana is in fact dating Ethan Slater, who has filed for divorce. We'll talk about that in a moment. But she and her husband, Dalton Gomez,
Ariana looking super skinny. You guys, can we just pause here for a second and talk about the skinny trend that's happening right now? The removal of the BBLs, the, you know, I want to be skinny trend that's happening right now. It's actually really, really interesting to me because I was extremely thick last year, 2 years ago, whatever. I'll put a picture. And when you see me now, it's just like, wowzers. So then, and this is now. So it's just like the thigh gap era is back, you know? And I don't know. I'm surprised we're here again. I just really do not want the low rise jeans to come back because I can't do that right now. You know, I won't allow it. Okay. High waisted jeans for life.
Have finally officially filed. What's interesting about this case is that they both filed for divorce against each other. For example, remember Britney Spears and her ex-husband Sam Asghari? He initiated the divorce by filing first.
I need to hop over on that too because I don't know what's going on with that juiciness over there.
But these two filed at the same time, and they didn't include any infidelity or any clues to why exactly they were breaking up, even though we all know at this point. Ariana Grande is following in her boyfriend Ethan Slater's footsteps because she has officially filed for divorce from her husband of 2 years.
And you know, it seems like that 2-year mark is where it's at, you know?
Here's Dalton Gomez, and he's filed too. We're told everything was worked out before going to the courthouse. Sources say
because Jeannie and Jeezy's was 2 years. You know, I'm at a point where I remember I used to look back, like, well, actually, let me say this. I remember looking back and seeing people be engaged for like 3-4 years and thinking it was like the weirdest thing, and clearly your man ain't really like trying to tie the knot, and it's just a shoe and the laces are untied. It's like that. It's like, when are you gonna tie it? And I'm now looking at it differently, where I'm like, you know what, I wouldn't mind being engaged for 2 years, actually, if not longer, because this whole let's get divorced after 2 years, I'm good, fam. Unless the prenup has already been detailed, edited, and ready to go, I'm gonna be feeling very lame. Very lame. Even if you got an Ethan on the side, even if you got a backup. I think people who have gone through their parents being divorced see divorce very differently.
Ariana will cut Dalton a check, and that will be that. As for why it took so long, apparently a source with direct knowledge tells us the two took their time to iron out details and settle. Our sources say there are no hard feelings. They've been really caring and respectful of one another every step of this process. And now that everybody has officially filed for divorce, Ariana and Ethan are clearly still going strong. And I say clearly to be funny because she's still liking his post as of 2 days ago, so one would assume. But also because it's being reported that Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater are living together, but I do wonder how that works with Lily, as I'm sure she probably does not want Ariana around her baby, but who's to say?
It seems like it took them a long time to file because they had to work out the contracts. And
I know you would have to pay me to see my baby, okay? I'm like, look, Ariana, I'm gonna need a check if you're trying to be around my child, okay? I'm gonna need a check, and we're gonna need a lot of Ring cameras and some security cameras, if that's okay with you.
By contracts, I mean prenup. Actually, the date of their separation is February 20th, 2023. So they've been separated for most of this year. This report writes, as for why it took so long between the date of separation.
And that's like a couple days right after Valentine's Day. I guess when you know, you know.
And the divorce filings, a source with direct knowledge tells TMZ that the two took their time to iron out the details and settle. Our source says there are no hard feelings. They've been really caring and respectful of one another each step of the way, which I don't think the cheating public thing with Ethan Slater was very respectful, but okay. Especially for Lily J. I mean, she is Ethan's wife and his high school sweetheart. They have a kid.
Well, I mean, was it technically cheating if they were separated? Or, I mean, I don't know. What's that quote? You can't expect everybody to have the same heart as you. I'd be the one to be like, oh, I met somebody and I think I kind of like them, and I just wanted to let you know. And if that upsets you, I'm very sorry, but I cannot live with the guilt. I'm literally dying alive by not saying anything about it. It's just, sometimes I just feel like cheaters, at least bold cheaters, they're built very differently. Like, I don't know how people operate like that.
Together, who they just had last year.
She looks so different here.
5 years at this point. So they were really deep in this, which is why I find it so surprising. Like, what spell does Ariana Grande have to which she could just steal these women's men? I mean, he filed right away back in July when we started learning about this, when they started going out and about together in public. He filed against her and they were over. Supposedly, he wanted to have an entirely clean slate when going into this relationship with Ariana. We actually don't know the reason for why he is divorcing Lily. We know the reason, but we don't know the technical legal reason. I mean, I'm assuming he's not going to be admitting to the infidelity, and he's probably trying to keep the peace with Lily J because they just had this kid together, and supposedly he really wants to co-parent. So they have agreed to that, which is kind of interesting because he is supposedly living with Ariana in New York. So is she going to be a stepmommy to this baby?
Well, about a month ago, this image was taken in London, and it says Ariana Grande in the center celebrates her 30th birthday at Soho farmhouse with a new boyfriend, Ethan Slater, on the right.
And of course, she's in Soho screaming.
The redhead, on June 27th. They're also with a friend, but that's besides the point, because remember, this image was taken, they were spotted at the retreat a few weeks before, the entire relationship went public. Now remember, Ethan's wife at this point still doesn't know. But guys, that's not even the worst part. You wanna know why? Not only were they spotted by, onlookers who were also at the retreat that were confused at how touchy-feely they were being at their, little breakfasts, but it turns out this is just Ariana's, place to take her guys. Because this exact little retreat that her and Ethan were staying at, guess what? She took Dalton to a few months prior. So Ariana takes her ex in London to this retreat, and they spend a nice time together, basically scopes out the place, is like, oh, I really like it here. Why don't I take my new guy? And then this man...
Stop. And that's exactly why when I am on a date, well, let's change that, because I guess a date would be different. But let's say I'm just dating somebody, just one person, and every place we go to, I'll ask, is this the first time you've been here? Have you been here before? How many people have you brought here? I'll ask these questions and they'll just look at me like, yeah, I've been here before. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this isn't special then. Woo! I'm a fool.
Man has the audacity to call out his ex-wife by saying like, oh, we just want to like co-parent and be like healthy and stable for our child. After she released her statement saying that she was surprised by the entire thing, caught off guard by Ariana, called Ariana out on the entire thing. Like, why are you backtracking?
It's just all messy when you think about it, and I can't imagine Ariana wanting to take care of Lily J's baby whenever he's asking for half custody. But since this all broke and hit the news, they've kept it all very low-key, probably because Ariana Grande is like
Ariana Grande is like a homewrecker? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
ability and her reputation were at risk here. I mean, I don't think a lot of us really appreciated seeing her, ruin this marriage. Not that it's her fault, it's also equally his fault. People don't really like him either, but she's, so popular. So everyone knows who she is, so everyone has an opinion. Ethan, he kind of can, just sneakily move through this without getting a lot of attention. He's just not as popular.
And that's what's so insane to me, because I remember, I think it was last year, whenever she got married, I said it briefly in a video. I don't think it was a dedicated video to Ariana Grande, but I said, oh, this is probably going to be it. This is going to be the last one. This is who she's going to end up with, because of the fact that he's not really famous, and I feel like they could probably not have such a different dynamic with somebody who is famous. But now it's Ethan who is famous, but not as famous, I guess. So it's kind of like the same thing, but just like in a different box, different wrapping paper. I don't know. But, I don't know. I feel like Dalton was so cute. I really liked their wedding. So it's kind of sad. But at the same time, marriage is definitely a different ball game these days. People don't see it as a one and done type situation anymore. It's like, let's do 4, maybe 5.
That's how he's been able to move in with Ariana and file this divorce and just leave everything behind. Supposedly, he's got a new Broadway role because he is a Broadway star. So they're living together. And I mean, at this point, when we learned about this, Ariana hadn't filed for divorce yet. But, they both did that together and broke the news.
Who do you go to next? Not to say after every single person that you're with, you have to upgrade. That's not what I mean. But it's just like, okay, I was with Ariana Grande. So it's like every other girl you date next knows that your ex is Ariana Grande. Like, that has to be like a stamp that's hard to remove,
The report, Ariana and Ethan have taken their relationship to the next level, with the Dangerous Woman singer now living with her Wicked co-star in New York City. Ariana and Ethan are said to be stuck together after their secret romance was made public, preventing them from returning to their respective marriages. I mean, that doesn't...
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Ariana got some good music, though. I gotta give it to her. Gotta give it to her. Dang, I haven't heard Dangerous Woman in a minute. I'm about to listen to that after this.
Sound good. So, they had to stay together because they both ruined their previous relationships. Quote, Ariana is living with a married man right now while she's still married. A close friend to the situation told Daily Mail, ooh, Ariana, you need to check your close friends. Quote, it seems as if Ariana is holding on to Dalton in case things with Ethan don't work. It is just so strange that she's living with Ethan and has not filed the documents to end it with Dalton, which I am actually not that surprised. I mean, we know now she did file them, but I really do think she's probably trying to protect her money, even though, Dalton has his own money and he comes from money. She still wants to protect her empire, so she probably wants to take her time and figure out how she can manage to give him the least amount of money. So there's a lot going on here, and I hope that Ariana and Ethan are happy. I mean, I hope it was worth it, and their relationship lasts for a long time. But either way, I mean, clearly their previous partners weren't the right one for them. So let's just let them go through life and figure it out and find what's out there for them. Because clearly they weren't happy if they could easily go and just cheat and leave their kids behind and all of that. It sounds awful and it looks bad too. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. See you later. Yikes. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I haven't been in that situation, but it's just like, when you bring kids in the situation, fam, you can't just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's different though. I'm not even in that chapter of my story yet, and thank God for that. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like, dang, that sucks. Like, it's a newborn too. And it's like you're entering fatherhood. And, that's just like a whole different era. And then you're in it, but you're kind of not in it. Now you're in like the co-parenting fatherhood, So it's just like, dang, that's crazy. Well, anyways, let me know your thoughts on Ariana Grande and her involvement with Colleen Ballinger, as well as her divorce. And let me know your thoughts on this video. I will see y'all in the next one. And it is very gloomy and rainy and divorce-like in London today. So that is why the lighting looks like this, if you're wondering. The sun is nowhere to be found. Absolutely nowhere. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. And if you're having issues, go ahead and at least try for 6 months, therapy, couple therapy, something. Or just get divorced and say F it. I don't know. I guess it really just depends how good the kitty and the doggy or should I say eggplant, is on that side of things, right? I guess so. Anyways, dangerous woman. Something about. Girl, you can sing. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it.
Is there more?
Maybe I'm cynical. Maybe you feel it all too.